Hello, welcome to Caretaskr. In this session, I'll be taking you through how to use the Caretaskr solution. Caretaskr is built for Australian care providers, and the whole purpose of the system is to help you with your administrative tasks so that you and your team can focus on providing high quality care to your clients. So to get to employees, we hover over the employee tab and click on employees. We can see the list of our employees here. If we want to add an employee, we click add employee, add in first name, last name, and the email address. And it's very important to get the spelling of the email address correct, because this is where your employee is sent a link to their email to then create a password and verify their account. Once they've done this, you'll be able to use them within the system, and they'll also have access to the system. Enter the occupation, so this might be support worker, support coordinator, therapist. Enter their phone number, choose the hire date, date of birth. We have the concept of teams within Caretaskr. So this is just a way of grouping your staff. I'll explain this further shortly. We then have system roles. So in Caretaskr, we've got owner, manager, and user. An owner would be the owner of the company. You have the master rights of the system. A manager would have just as much control as the owner would. The only difference is the manager cannot delete owners or add other owners. And then for user, you can define custom roles too. So you can choose from one of your previously made custom roles. I'll explain roles further shortly as well. Select the time zone of the staff member, their address, and then we'll go through to emergency contact. So you'll enter their emergency contact information here, put in the first name, the last name, the contact's phone number, and then select a relation. So you can choose from any one of these. And if the relation you need isn't in here, that's okay. We can click add new relation here and type in what that is, click save. So when you've finished adding these details, we'll click save. We can then open up one of our created employees. We can see their employee details, their emergency contact, accreditation. Accreditations in Caretaskr are a great way of making sure your employees have all the relevant licenses and certificates to work within your company. So we can add an accreditation by clicking this button here. Write in the accreditation name, the accrediting organisation, and the accreditation number if there is one. We'll put a valid from date, a valid to date. We don't currently have the ability to say if it's got no expiry date. So the way to get around this is just put the expiry date well into the future. We can select a review date from the expiry date. So we can choose to be reminded about it 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. Upload a copy of the accreditation, give it a name, and click save. And that will then be a part of this library here for you. We also have the concept of tasks within Caretaskr. And think of tasks kind of like a to-do list within Caretaskr. So we can add a task, we can give it a due date, we might say on the 30th, a title, so review agreements, select a status, an importance, select the client it's related to. So we can leave this blank if we want, but we might choose to relate it to a client. We can enter a note. We can enter a note, add in task item, and then we can add task items. So now that we've saved this, we can open it up and we can see the details about this task. We can also tick it off once it's been done and add to it. When we've completed it, we can mark as complete. To edit an employee, you'll click these three dots in the top right hand corner. You'll click edit, and that will take you to the edit page. To delete an employee, you'll click delete, and it will ask you if you are sure, and you'll click yes. So back to the concept of teams. This is a way of grouping your staff, and this makes things a little bit easier if you've got quite a few staff and you want to filter down to a certain group of staff members when creating appointments. To add a team, you click Add Team. You might want to create a team of staff that are comfortable doing sleepover shifts, and you'll add the employees that are included in this. Then you'll click Save. You can have the same employee within many different teams. And then we have roles. Roles can only be assigned to employees who have a user system role. So to add a role, we can click Add, and you can give it a role name, description. To add a role, you can click Add Role. You can give it a name, so you'll give it a role name, so support worker. Then you can give it a role description, and then you can give it a role description. And you can choose the access of viewing, adding, editing and deleting for appointments, billable entries, care plans, client list, client documents, connections, incidents, invoices, notes and tasks. There's no right or wrong way to do this, it's just whatever makes sense to you within your company. So if we go through to appointments, so they can view their assigned appointments. Your employees cannot add appointments. Let's say, would we like them to edit appointments? Only their assigned ones. And we don't want them to be able to delete appointments. We can then come down to billable entries. Say they can only view their own. They can add for assigned clients. They can edit none, so once they've inputted a billable, they can't. We might decide that we don't want them to be able to edit it, and they can't delete their billables. Care plans. Within my company, I want my employees to only be able to see their assigned. I don't want them to be able to add care plans, or edit, or delete. My client list. They can view their assigned clients. I don't want my support workers to see my entire client caseload. They can't add clients, they can't delete clients, and they can't archive clients. We've got client documents, so they can view all documents for their assigned clients. They can add for assigned clients, they can't edit, and they can't delete client documents. Connections, they can see all the connections. They can add connections for their assigned clients only. They can edit connections for their assigned clients, and I don't want them to be able to delete connections. Then we've got incidents. So my support workers are able to view all incidents. They can add incidents. They can edit their own incidents, and they cannot delete incidents. Invoices, I don't want my support workers to see my invoices, so I'll say none. The notes, I'd like them to see all notes for their clients because within my company, I believe it's important for my support workers to be able to see what happened in previous shifts. They can add notes, they can edit their own notes, but I don't want my support workers to be able to delete any notes. And tasks, I'd like my support workers to be able to view their own and assigned client tasks. They can add for assigned clients, they can't edit tasks, and they can't delete tasks. And then when I finish filling this out, I'll click Save. And now we can see what we just created here. If we do need to edit permissions, we can click the eye icon. The 3 dots in the top right hand corner, we can click Edit. If we don't want this role anymore, we can click Delete. And if we want to slightly tweak this role, we can say Copy New, so then we've still got the 2. We then have timesheets. So your employees can add manual timesheets. They can click Add Timesheet. They might say they worked from 8 AM until 3 PM. You have to click Set, otherwise it won't stick. You can enter a note. Let's say this. Let's say support shift. We can add in break items. Then we can submit our timesheet. As a manager, we can now come in and approve, reject or query this timesheet.